everyone, it's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. This is the place where women over 60 come to be inspired. My guest today is Penelope Whiteley. Penelope is an author of 4 books. She has traveled to 57 countries and lived in 7. She's a woman who has got a website dedicated to helping women over 60 really reinvent themselves and live life on their own terms. It's great to have you here, Penelope.
Thank you, Margaret. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you. Well, you know, our community is we reach about 500,000 women now, over 50 really. And they are, like you write about, they're looking for ways to break away from some of the rules and the stereotypes of aging. And in fact, I love the fact that you call yourself the queen of aging disgracefully.
It's a great title.
I love it. It's a great honor to meet you, Your Majesty. But anyway, you know, what we want to talk about today is one of your passions. And I didn't mention in the introduction that you actually do online programs for women. You have your own online programs, empowerment programs on PenelopeWhiteley.com. And you also do tours for women over 50 in exotic places in Italy and I think France.
France, we're looking at Scandinavia. We're looking at Vienna for Christmas, which will be lovely.
Wonderful.
Because the travel I do is for solo women over 50. So there are a lot of women over there who have no one to travel with.
Yes. Oh, it's a great option. And I think that given the fact that you've got a whole load of other interests, I mean, you're a writer, you have written books, you've got, you know, experience in areas like with travel in particular. And I think I'd like to start there because one thing that a lot of women are considering and actually doing or trying to do is something you've done successfully, and that is house sitting.
Yes.
Where you go and you live in someone's house for a period of time, rent-free, in return for agreed tasks. And so tell us a bit about your house sitting experience and how that kind of got you started with the travel bug.
I think I was born with the travel bug, to be honest. I think it's congenital.
Probably true. Well, how you explored your travel bug then?
Yeah, house sitting started because I no longer have a home. I've put the bits and pieces I want to keep in a container for shipping to somewhere when I decide I want to settle. And I wanted places to stay. I didn't know where I wanted to live. And I thought, well, I'll try the UK first. So my first task was to find house sitting positions in the UK, in different parts of the UK, so I can decide where I want to be and where I don't want to be. And I joined an organization called Trusted House Sitters. And the idea is you basically look for specific areas, or you jump through quite a few hoops because obviously they're very particular. You're going into someone else's home. You're looking after their animals. You're keeping it clean and tidy. You don't pay rent. You don't pay electricity or gas or anything like that. It's basically free. The only thing you have to provide is a mode of travel. Sometimes you don't need to do that because you might be near public transport, which is very efficient. Sometimes you're in an incredibly isolated spot and you just have to rent a car. It's that simple. You meet some wonderful animals, just wonderful animals. And it's a very interesting way to live. I've done about, I think it's nine or 11 house sits since the end of November last year.
Wow.
And one of them was 3 weeks in Switzerland over the Christmas period. So Christmas and New Year I spent in Zurich.
Yes.
And that was fabulous, with the best dog on the face of the planet and 4 gerbils. and
what were their names? Just kidding. Go ahead.
So I love it. I love the house sitting because it solves my problem of making up my mind as to where I want to live. And also I find it very comfortable, and I have animals because one of the things I miss in not having a home is having animals. I do like little fur babies. They're important to me.
Now, just to clarify, for those of you who don't know anything about trustedhousesitters.com, is they are one of the biggest, and I think they're one of the more reputable. Well, they're all reputable, but that is a good one to start with. But they basically let you put a profile on their website. So you put your picture and a description of your skills and your experience, and you have an opportunity to sell yourself. There's hundreds, literally, of other people looking for that same job as you, and towns like London, for example, there's competitions because it's a great way to vacation if you are trying to come to this, to a place and be there for a few weeks. So just to clarify, that's how it works. That you put your profile up there, and then people who have got houses to rent find you. You have a little conversation and decide.
Yes, there are certain specific requirements. If you can also get a police check, a certificate for a police check, and include that, then I think you get 5-star rating or something. I was actually looking for later this year at some of the house sits that are available in the US. Alaska, for example. I thought, Alaska for 12 months, that would be good. And then I thought, no, because I'm taking parties of women to Tuscany and on the Amalfi Coast. Why would I go to Alaska right now? So I'm saving that for my 80s.
I love your attitude. You're crazy. Okay, so basically, though, you can go. I mean, 2 or 3 weeks is an average, perhaps, or 2 weeks, and then. But some people, like you say, are going to be moving abroad. They want someone to be in their home for a year or a longer period of time, and it can be very economically advantageous.
Yes, it can. And you really can go almost anywhere. Australia, New Zealand, the US, the UK. Not in Italy, interestingly enough. No one wants a house sitter in Italy. Quite a few in France.
Yes.
I even saw one the other day for places in Croatia.
Yes, and Greece and Spain. So
Greece,
and the United
Spain.
States. I mean, all of the United States as well. I mean, this is a global phenomenon. So
Japan.
Oh, wow.
Japan.
Yeah.
None in China yet, but it will happen.
Yeah. So tell us, I mean, has it always been a great experience?
Not always.
Let's be real.
90% have been really fabulous. There's always one, isn't there? And that one was a very unpleasant experience, to be honest. And the lesson I learned from that was to make sure that I acquired as much detail as possible from the homeowner.
Right.
Because they can say, they can write something and you can talk to them on Skype and everything seems fine and above board. And you may arrive, for example, as happened to me, and discover the old dog, in actual fact, has zero quality of life, is blind, deaf, etc. So you really need to question deeply.
Yeah, deeply. And just to say too that the company that you use, for example, also profiles the homeowner. So it's you're not at risk. I mean, I don't want you to think that that they are also profiled and put their case forward to be included on the website. So it's pretty straightforward. It's just like you say, the detail. The dog was not well, needed medicine, and you weren't maybe comfortable doing that. So.
Well, the dog had to be put down. I was really uncomfortable.
Wow.
That was a really bad house sit. They don't happen very often, I believe.
Yes. Well,
I've never heard anyone that had that problem before.
Now, there's lots of people that do there's lots of companies. So I know one called Mind Your House, or Mind My House.
Yes.
.com. There's trustedhousesitters.com. You had a couple of others.
Yes. Mind My Home 8 is another one.
Okay.
There's quite a few. There is one in the UK. I can't remember the name, but I can let you have it later.
It's House Sit or something. I do remember that one.
Yeah, and they pay. They actually pay you a fee. We have a cleaner here where we live, and she house sits, and she's paid £80 to £100 a day. But there's specific clients that she has.
Yes, yes. And so you, in a way, become an employee of that company. Then you're like a nanny. You're like a house-sitting nanny.
Of the individual. Right. You're not because those people actually don't come through places like Trusted House Sitters, which is interesting.
Right, interesting. But but that's one passion of yours. So the house sitting is great. I'm really glad you introduced our community to this phenomenon. I know we've written about it, we've talked about it. Here's someone, Penelope, who's done it and can tell you the true story of her experience, and that's wonderful. But more importantly, as relates to travel, you like to take women over 50 on trips around fabulous countries. So tell us what you got planned for the rest of the year.
Oh, yes. There's just 4 trips for the rest of the year. The first 3 are in Italy. So Stresa on Lake Maggiore, which is an hour and a half's drive from Lake Como, at the beginning of September. And then we have a 10-day tour, which is 5 days in Firenze and 5 days on the Amalfi Coast, staying in Ravello, and we visit Amalfi and Positano and have a day down on Capri, and absolutely divine.
That's a great
This
agenda.
is not a whistle-stop, 50 people crammed on a bus tour. This is lovely. This is comfortable. This is 5-star. This is the way Italy should be experienced by women over 50 who are moving into their own life. And then, of course, we're doing Christmas and New Year in Vienna. Next year, we have about 10 tours organized, but we just have So what we're doing in September is we're doing Florence and the Amalfi Coast, and we're repeating it.
So 3. So yeah. Tell me what kind of women are right for these types of solo trips, not necessarily even yours, but what are the qualities of a person who would be drawn to group travel as a solo traveler?
Most of the women I find who are drawn to this sort of thing, to be honest, are fed up. They're fed up with their life the way it is. They're fed up with not being able to go to places like Florence on their own. They're fed up with things like single supplements. They're just tired, and they're looking for something more in their life.
Yes.
And they want to expand their soul and their heart and feel things in their heart and become excited and have fun and laugh a lot and eat and drink and just have a wonderful time. Because if you can't do it now, then you're looking at crawling into a coffin very disappointed, aren't you?
Wait, by the way, folks, I know you've caught on that Penelope is British, so she uses some words that maybe for the American lingo is not sort of fed up means kind of bored with life, bored with yourself. So fed up, if you're fed up, it's like, I need a change. So I think that's actually, honestly, Penelope, very consistent with your whole way of living, writing. Your books are all about re-energizing yourself as a woman and living life on your terms, having fun, and just maximizing the time we have on this beautiful planet.
I think so, because this isn't a dress rehearsal. And you can't press the replay button. This is it. So if you've done everything everyone expected you to do for the last 50 or so years, isn't it time to say, sorry, chaps, my turn now?
I love it. Well, look, go to Penelope's website. She's, as I said, written 4 books, and there's something for everybody. She's a new book recently on gray hair, which you've done some videos on. Gray hair, which is just about to be published. So just go to her website, penelopewhiteley.com, sign up for her newsletter, and she'll let you know when the book's available. And then just check out the tours too. And but really, I think more than anything, just know that there are options for you here as an older woman to live your life, with just abundance and vibrancy and happiness. It's our mission at 60andMe to help with that, and yours too.
And an attitude. I like to see them all have an attitude.
An attitude of disgraceful aging.
Yeah, and joie de vivre.
Penelope, it's been a joy to talk to you. You energize me. I'm just so happy to have talked to you and learned about your experiences with house sitting and your travel plans. And I wish you all the very best. It's been great to talk with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our 60andMe YouTube channel and also visit our website. We are a strong and dynamic community of women over 60. We're challenging aging stereotypes, and every day we share fascinating stories, interesting questions, and great conversation.